here singing.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, it's instrumental, so I wanted to go ahead and add in some words. Anyway, what's up, everybody? What's up? We're missing somebody. Pastor Jose is celebrating his anniversary. Happy anniversary, Pastor. So he himself some much needed relaxation. So he's not even taking my phone calls, y'all. Yeah. He's like, I'm off limits, Zandra. So, and Rick, are you gonna take my phone call? Y'all know I got issues. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Janine is back.
Janine is back. What's up, Janine?
Hey. I missed you.
Where you been?
Oh, but I was having fun. I was up in Simi Valley. Working on a show called Lifestyle Magazine. It is the second longest running show after Meet the Press.
Wow.
Right? So it's been around 70 plus years.
Okay.
We shot 20 shows over the course of 3 days. We had William Shatner. We had Hal Linden from Barney Miller. We had Susan Olsen, who played Cindy on the Brady Bunch. We had Sean Kanan from The Bold and the Beautiful. He plays Deacon Sharp. We had Maurice Baynard from General Hospital. When I tell you a good time was had.
William Shatner.
I know William Shatner and Hal Linden. I know Hal Linden from the he was in Barney Miller, right? But also I know him from the Golden Girls. Fine self.
Yeah, all of that. We had Richard Gant, my adopted uncle, who is on TV on 5 different channels at any given time.
Brilliant comedian.
Right.
Okay. When I tell you, these were the nicest, most loving people. When I tell you, they show you what the love of Christ is.
Come on now.
And their actions and interactions. I was brand new. They embraced me. People just hugged each other, checked on each other. How you doing? Good morning. Everybody.
Right.
No attitudes, no egos, no eye rolling. I miss those people so much. I could just go stand on the empty stage.
Oh, I know, right? That's good.
On the good time we had.
That's good.
Well, they just need to come on and bring you in permanently. That's right.
That's right. And then bring a girl from Ohio to come help out. Tell them I'll bring water. I'll be the water girl. All right, Pastor Rick, what's going on?
What's up? I feel real. I have to get my testosterone level up, like on another.
We're not gonna beat you up.
Oh, right. I'm like, I didn't get it at first, but you're right. You're outnumbered tonight.
All right, you get your call with your wife. Cole, welcome back.
Thank you.
Filling in that little void. Again, everybody, come on now, like, subscribe, and share our channel. Again, go over to Better Flies Entertainment on our YouTube channel. Although you're seeing us streaming on multiple platforms, over there you can find our query form that's inside of the information section. If you want to come on our show as a guest for Message in the Bottle, if you want to come on as a guest, as Colette is here, just kind of vibe with us and just kind of, make your presence known. We really want to hear from the fellas out there, just what's going on in the dating world. And also, again, we're still doing hookups. Come on now, we're still the girls Z. They still trying to hook me up, y'all. So I'm like, come on, is there any, come on, bring it on. Hit me up, Sandra Wilson at yahoo.com. And with any questions or incognito, again, we really are here to help somebody. And you can even come on if you want in witness protection. If you're uncomfortable, come on in witness protection, and we're gonna hook you up.
Change your voice and
explain it.
We're gonna help you out. We know it's a trust thing, but you can. This is a squad. You can trust us. But anyway, we have an amazing show today about these unrealistic expectations, ladies. We got some and men too. These unrealistic expectations,
especially them.
Exactly. Especially
I'm gonna need some help today. So I'm bringing somebody in. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No, you don't. No, we don't, Gary. But anyway,
we on for his help early on.
Yes. Anyway, let's start with number one. So these are basically some expectations, everybody, that men and women have in relation to things that we just really expect to be done. Number one, you expect your partner to look attractive always. Now, that is with the men, more so than women. That is more so with the men. They expect you to be, however, when they married you, if you were a 0, Lord help you if you went to a size 2. After 5 kids and, working 8 hours a day and all that. Oh, my goodness. That is a really big thing, Rick. And you can come on, chime in. That's the truth. So let's tell the truth and shame the devil.
First of all, that's how it works in my house. Best believe that they get cute all the time. You know how it is.
And y'all know he's not telling the truth.
No,
he's not telling the truth. I was a size 5 when we met. I guarantee you I am not a 5 now. So let's be clear. Let's be clear. And I'm not even trying to be a 5 because I thought it was, a little bit too skinny for me, but he might think otherwise. But I love this title, Great Expectations, because like you said, it's some people have some great unrealistic expectations. Right. So
wait, I haven't finished.
Okay, go ahead.
I haven't finished.
Oh, well, okay.
I agree with you, Zandra, that and Mrs. Darcy, that yes, we do have expectations when we get married. They're pretty much out of the window once you get married, because all of them, like those little fantasies you have in your head, ain't happening. So you have to go in realistically. I did, and honestly did. I didn't expect to do all of that stuff because the truth of the matter is she was beautiful, whether she was made up or not. And that was a selling point for me. So I'm not being funny. That's the truth. And she knows it. Yeah, that was a selling point. It's like she was fine with or without. So
what's the deal then with a lot of these guys? Because you'll hear in the comment section, and these are comments that guys want to say, but won't say because it'll hurt their partner's feelings. And you would know because you talk to a lot of the fellas.
Yeah.
Talk. So what's the deal with that? Like the real deal?
Well, I think because how they look at models and IG models and other stuff that I will not say, and they expect their wives to be like that.
Okay.
To perform like that.
Right. Pornography, I'll go ahead and say it for you.
We're talking about porn. Let's just get it out there.
Okay.
So
and now that's 3 porns. Okay, got it.
Right.
Okay.
So they have these fantasies, and what happens is the expectations when it's not met, it's a letdown for them. And I believe, this is my opinion, I think because they don't have men around them telling the realistic aspect of marriage. Sure. And when it's not exempt before you, you don't know.
Right.
So they find out as they're going, as they're in the marriage, as they're pursuing marriage. It's just a great delusion. I'll say it that way. Yeah. And it's on both sides, but specifically for men, that's what goes on. So they have to, rearrange their thinking on how your wife should be. Even, yes, after 2 kids, after 3 kids, after pretty much
after no kids.
Weight gain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's also talk about the fact that we set ourselves up to then have to try to meet unrealistic expectations.
Yes.
The amount of makeup.
Come on now, Jenny.
And hair and lashes.
Ma'am.
You don't even look like your driver's license.
No.
Right? If I see you without your face on, I'd walk past you on the street because I wouldn't even recognize you. So when you present that as the package,
right,
and 50% of that, you're like Miss Potato Head. All that stuff has been added on, lips, lashes, all that kind of stuff. What do you expect to happen when you're not feeling well? You don't have the time. You're just tired. You're going through something, and you haven't put all that stuff on.
Right.
So now
and just to be
your
clear,
significant other has to deal with the other person.
Sure.
Right.
Janine, there was a recently there was a was an African couple that got married, and she would date him, and she would have all his makeup on.
I remember.
And then all of a sudden, they got to the honeymoon.
Then he divorced
her. She took all of that off. She looked like a totally different.
Did he divorce her?
He divorced her.
Yep.
I don't know if they get annulments there, but it was immediate. Wow. It was immediately.
And that was his reason why, because she did not look like.
She did not. But and just to go to show, listen, it goes on both sides with men too. What happens is they have this mindset, ladies, that he has this money and it's really all on credit. It's all on credit. Oh, he has the house. No, it's his mama's house because that's where he's living, and that's where he bringing y'all and the 2 kids that y'all pretty much had together. That's where y'all going to. It's a facade, and what happens is it's an expectation that can really mess up people. So yeah, absolutely.
No, but like you said, I was wondering where you were going when you were saying men too, because I'm like, they don't have to pile all that on like we do. But when you talk about the facade of the money and the material things, then I see what you're saying, that it may not necessarily be in the look department, but it's, the facade of what they have. And then like you said, you get with them and they're in a nice car and you find out it's leased, or they're in a bunch of debt, So that facade, not just from the looks, but from what they have, probably is more of a guy thing than the whole looks thing,
Absolutely.
So, but it can go both ways though.
Yeah. There was a recent study, not a study, but I guess it came out. I saw it on social media where more men are spending more money on getting like fake abs. We know about the fake hair because they talk about the women with the with our weaves and all that. But these dudes got the receded hairline. They draw their whole hairline on. One dude looked one way, and when he came out, he was fine. But I'm like, but it was.
I ain't mad at him. I mean, do what you got to do.
He was fine, y'all. After the guy finished with him, because they could do everything now. Like he brought his hair. Dyed his. He looked at least 20 years younger.
Sure.
Nice looking guy. So my point is, like, now it's almost an even playing field with the men. Because if I saw that guy who did see the other guy, they 2 totally different men.
True.
So it's the same. So that was the women's thing. Like, or the guys is all this plastic surgery. One of my friends, Dr. Jason Emmer, he does a whole lot of plastic surgery, and a lot of men are going in with getting the fake abs, putting in the fake pecs, the fake. But then they want you to look a certain way. Negro, all the stuff you got ain't real. And what kind of society we live in when we got to do all of that, y'all?
Think about all the boobs and all the butts that are going to be at nursing homes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What they're going to look like
when it all goes south.
Yes.
I mean, because a lot of women are taking out their butt implants now. So I mean, who knows what the fake abs and all that other stuff over time does to your body. It's such a new procedure. So it's
gonna be either around your waist, like
right,
that you get on vacation.
Right.
I don't know. Right. I'm thinking about the names on the breast. What that's gonna look like.
Yeah, it was up here.
Well, you mean the tattoo
down here, the
down your belly.
Because your boobs drop.
Unfortunately, you got to think about it.
Especially top heavy. They just go for they nice and perky. Then they just, unless you get a breast lift. So No. And this one guy was like, "You're gonna take whatever's up under this hoodie. I'm not changing nothing." I'm like, I know that's right. It is what it is.
There was a time, and I'll say probably the 40s and the 50s, maybe even into the 60s, where the housewife would get up before her husband and do her hair and put on her makeup and then get back in bed. And I love Gary Bain's dirty draw. I wish I would get up before
some sleep in it.
And put
some sleep in it.
My house is bringing that back.
Look, he gets to roll over with crust and dust and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Well,
I had never heard of that I saw it on TV and heard people on TV, but it was a girl actually went to church, went to church with me in LA. And she was like, my husband never seen my natural hair or with me without makeup on. I thought she was joking. And I'm like, because it was something we were talking about, and she mentioned about the hair. I was like, well, just have your husband go, what she was saying wasn't making sense. But then when I mentioned her husband, she's like, oh no, he's never seen my natural hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious? It's like, no, I would never let him see it.
There is a generation that does that. Yeah. So we're adopting that generation in our house. We're gonna do that. Go.
That is
too late.
Crazy.
Too late. You already
Number 2. Number 2.
Too late.
You expect to have a certain amount of sex on a regular basis. Now, this is a good one. So do you say we're going to have sex 3 times a week, or you just, whenever it happened, it happened. If when it don't, it don't. How does that go? And what's realistic?
It's probably different for everybody, but I know early in our marriage, it was very spontaneous. There's no scheduling, nothing. It was
all getting real too personal.
Hey, that's good for you. It wasn't scheduled. It was very spontaneous all the time.
It was very spontaneous. Older, and I'll say this.
May not.
We christened every room and every.
We don't want to know that because we want to come over there to have dinner.
Mind you,
well, I didn't know that. You don't want to sit anywhere in our house. You don't want to sit anywhere in our house. I'm sorry, you may eat at a dining room table.
Okay, you know what? I think the welcome mat is safe. Outside.
I don't know.
Let me sit outside the welcome mat. Stop it. But I get it. I get it. So as you get older, Cole, you mentioned that it does. So does it expect you? Right, Gary. So does the expectation? So do men really think that the sex is going to be the same as when they got married? Seriously.
Absolutely.
I think they do. They do.
Yeah, because you expect as you get older.
Sorry to tell you, it ain't what you expect.
You expect her to be 25 again, and doing,
But can he still do the same stuff as what he was doing when he was 25?
Oh yeah, I can still do it. Don't play with me.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying the man.
Don't play.
Don't
talk over here. Don't bring that over here.
Then we just had this conversation last week about the blue pill.
Yeah, we talked about
last week. We talked about the vitamin D that you need to be taking.
It ain't working on everybody. He needs to understand.
There might be snow on the roof, but there's fire in the chimney. Don't play.
I'm not saying that, but you're not going 3, 4, 5 times a day.
You don't know what I'm doing over here.
I ain't saying you. I'm saying the man.
I agree, though. No, listen. Real talk. Right. As there are times that pretty much, depending on the wife and the husband,
because it could be a health thing too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's some men who may need it, but at the same time, I think what happens is that is not necessarily the thing to do. That doesn't certify your marriage, for lack of a better word. Some people do it to certify their marriage. Mm-hmm. When men, they say, well, men, they have to have sex all the time. That's not true. When men are mature enough, and the word lets us know clearly to dwell with your wife with understanding.
Right.
When she's not ready, she's not ready. It's as simple as that. And that's just how it goes.
Right.
So my point with it is that you have to get that expectation that throughout the years is going to be like that. Not to say you won't have it, but not as often. Give her a break, brother. I mean, she's not 25, anymore.
But what I'm hearing is that necessarily the women, it's the guys.
Oh yeah,
the guys.
Meaning the guys aren't able to do what they were doing when they were 25. They've slowed down.
Yeah.
When we say do, let's be clear here. You talking about the acrobats, or we talking about the performance? Because we got to be. You're vague.
Clear it up for me.
Does he need help getting ready? Is that what you mean?
But once he's ready, he can do the backflips.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. That's a good. Yeah, he needs help. My point. Okay, so if he needs help, are you saying that if the guy needs help, he'll still try to go every day?
Oh yeah, they would try. If they can, they would.
Yeah.
Because
if they could, sure.
Because sex is a sight thing for men. If they could, yeah, that's why the blue pills are popular and so forth and whatever else.
$1 billion.
And they take a lot, and they do other stuff too that we can't mention on the show. But the fact of the matter is that yes, if men can listen, if a man can do it 24 hours a day, they would. Don't let them. They'll say, "No,
right.
Everybody's saying about this.
I think there's also the expectation that there's the desire and the time to do it all day, every day, all day long. Like at some point you gotta wash, there's laundry, you
gotta eat,
you going to work, there's grocery shopping, there are other life things that you will be doing, and it won't be just like you're in the Barbie Ken dream house everything stays the same. So you just got free time to have your feet in the air over your head. There's stuff to do.
Isn't that a nymphomaniac though? If you're saying men need to have sex,
I don't think a nymphomaniac is a vocabulary you use in marriage. I really don't, because it's, if your wife is available, you guys are available, this is what you do together, so be it. It becomes a nympho, or when you pretty much going around screwing everybody. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't think that they're pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, if both parties are willing to participate, I mean, that's fine. Usually it's not always equal.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you may have somebody wants it more than the other at certain given times. But yeah, if it's equal and they're both willing to go, hey, who's to say no?
Right. I get that. Yeah. I didn't know about, you said if they could, Rick, 24 hours a day. And I know I'm hoping you're kind of exaggerating, but I get your point. I didn't know it was
so I'm exaggerating, but of course, if they could,
I get
as often as they wanted to do it,
Yeah, well, they did take studies about how much men think about sex. I don't know about, again, Christian men, but men, it's on there. I mean, you know, you got to be under the blood.
I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna be transparent as I am light skinned. I'm gonna be transparent here. What happens is this: before I got married, at least every 60 seconds, you're thinking about me. I'm serious. That's how it was.
That's nympho. That's a different.
But that's how we think. But
I don't remember exactly, but it was often.
Y'all hit 40.
We think about it, but not every 60 seconds. So obviously it's more
16 to the seconds. So what happens is you have to discipline your mind.
Okay.
Yes.
The Holy Spirit has to go in, and I'm serious, has to go in those rooms. And this is why I tell, and it's a sidebar, but important. This is why I tell a lot of young men, before you decide to get married, clean those areas up of your life.
Yeah.
Because if you were pretty much sleeping with all these women in your past prior to her, you're going to take all them women into your bedroom.
Right.
When she's not doing what Kalika used to do or did back in the day, you're going to be fantasizing that, put Kalika's head on your wife.
On your wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I can believe that. Well, and now you're calling out Kalika's name, and now
see, that's what I'm saying.
Now you
so that's called deliverance. Mm-hmm. That's called deliverance.
I'm sure women do it too, though.
And another transparent moment.
That's true.
Before I got married, I went on a long fast, getting every woman I pretty much had vetted out of my life.
That was a long fast, huh?
That was not a long. You know what? No, I don't know why people thought it was a hoe back in the day. I was not. Whatever.
I think it's that light skin thing.
Yeah, you came up through the Elder Bard. You came up through that Christopher Williams Elder Bard stage.
Oh,
so. Here we go. By the way, we're making a comeback. Go ahead.
Okay, but that's good. That's good, Rick. I agree. Women and men to take that fast. I agree. That you really do compare.
Yeah,
you really do compare. So I agree. Okay, number three. You expect your partner to always plan date night. So
now, what you end up doing in marriage is playing to each other's strengths and filling in each other's weaknesses, right? So if planning is not his strong suit, then I'm not going to necessarily look to him to always come up with something amazing. Occasionally, yes, you got to take one for the team. And even if we're just going bowling or we're, whatever we're doing, it's nice to not always be the one that's responsible for making magic. Sometimes you just want to walk into the magic.
Right.
Well, let my husband tell it. He'd rather me plan it because he don't want me sitting up there mad. Well, I think first note, it's important to plan date nights because you could get so caught up in life that you don't even plan date nights.
Right.
So it's important that you do it. On the flip side, my husband, I think I've scarred him over time. Because you decide because you're not gonna like what I pick anyway. So in all fairness, I got to do better, I guess.
Look, it's that same old thing. We get in the car. What do you want to eat? I don't know what I want to eat. You know what I want to eat? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go there. Wait a minute. We're halfway there. It happened recently. And I just looked at it and said, yo, what are we doing? Okay, let's go there. And then when we get there, I hear her complain about the food because she wanted something else. So I said, you know what? That's why I don't. That's why I don't.
Oh. But yeah, so don't do that because you definitely. I still want him to plan.
Right.
I don't want to.
Listen, when we go on vacation, honest to God, I don't know where I'm going until maybe a week before I put my time in for work or whatever. Honest to God, a lot of times it's, oh, we're going here. Oh, okay. I got to take time off.
Well, I would love to do that. That wouldn't bother me not one bit. When you go to vacation, are you happy with the places that Cole picks?
Oh no, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
She puts thought into it. I just don't know until the last minute. That's the thing.
No, I tell you, just don't remember.
Well, Barry and I, we co-plan stuff, but there was this one vacation, and we always take it around our anniversary in August. I said, okay, I really want to surprise him. So I reached out to his boss and I said, I'm planning a special getaway. Can he have this time off? Didn't tell him anything about it. Okay. So I booked this all-inclusive resort in Puerto Vallarta.
Wow.
I got first-class flights there. And so when he came home from work, it was a Friday, I had like flip-flops and suntan lotion, all these little clues about what we were going to do. And the last clue was the boarding pass and his passport. And he had just gotten his passport. I told him, dude, I have mine. Don't get left behind.
Come on.
A postcard, sir. Get your passport. You need to be ready to roll. So I'm like, he has his passport. And when he found out that I had planned all of this, I had an email from his boss saying, it's cool, have a good time. All he had to do was throw his stuff in his suitcase because we were flying out the very next morning.
Wow.
The joy on his face.
Aww.
Priceless.
I would do it again and again and again. Yeah. He was so excited.
That's romantic.
Yeah.
And then last thing I'll say, I love Benihanas. So he surprised me for my birthday one time. I came home. I thought we were going out somewhere. He recreated the Benihana experience.
Oh,
wow.
He had 3 different wardrobe changes. He took my order. He set up the tabletop grill. He fried the rice and everything right there in front of me. He did the spatula thing and flipped it up, and he did all of that. It was amazing.
Okay.
Y'all can come over here and plan something any day.
He blew my mind. It was so, and of course it was good because he could cook.
Yeah.
I mean, so we try to do those kinds of things.
Well, thanks a lot, Gary, because now you raised the bar.
High expectations.
Absolutely. I want my Benihana.
High expectations instead of great expectations. Oh, wow. I love it. Okay, let's go to 4. You expect your partner to pay for, okay, let's talk about this. So are we talking about marriage? Do we want to, well, marriage, everything is in one pot, but dating, when do you pay for the meal?
Did you ever pay for a meal, Cole, when you were dating?
Yeah, I'm sure I did. It's been so long. I'm trying to remember, actually. My memory failed.
You made her pay, Rick.
He definitely
paid.
I didn't
make her. No, honestly, she knows I would never make her pay.
I think I'm sure you paid probably for mostly in the beginning, but I'm sure I am. That's just me. I would pay.
Yeah, she probably,
every time.
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe at the beginning. I don't remember, but yeah,
In the beginning, for sure you did, but then
then here on in I pay for everything. Yes, that's pretty much how it works.
No.
Okay, now this is fair because obviously, I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
This came up, which was a really good analogy. So if she makes pretty good money and he doesn't make as much, so she wants to go out all the time, his budget won't allow.
Sure.
For him to take. So it is fair that she picks up the tab if she wants to go out a lot and his budget just can't afford it.
Yeah, I think only if the person is comfortable, particularly if the woman is comfortable picking up the tab. I think that's the only time they should do it.
Yeah. Some women don't care though. That's why I made that stipulation.
No, but see the drawback.
Expect him to pick up the tab all the time.
Yeah, the drawback is later. The whole money thing comes into factor in the marriage, but that's neither here or there with it. I really believe that when you're dating, particularly this modern time, I think it's okay for her to pay if she wants to. But if you're expecting her to do it, then that's a problem. That's just my opinion. I'm old school.
So how do you do that? Do you ask her? So when you guys are going out, how does that work? Like, hey, babe, you want to? Because every time I've gone out, the guys have paid.
Right.
I think it depends who asks who out.
Okay. So if I ask him out, I should be prepared to pay, and he may still.
There you go.
Okay, lady.
Okay.
This is another good one. This is what women do. So what we do is we'll do that. I want to go out with John. I'm gonna go and say, expect to pay, but if he make me pay,
you're gonna psych him out and pretend like
you pretend that you're looking at your purse.
We'll pull it out but if he bet not make me pay for this meal, and if she pays, it's just almost a done. She's mad.
You talking about the first day, Zandra, or
right? Because there's there's a difference
I've heard it on
couple of days.
I've heard that just generally first date, middle date is with this. This is with the women. So even if she asks him out, and her thing is I'm asking him out, but he should still be a gentleman. I've heard women say this and still pay, and I'm thinking, okay. And then when she pulls that credit card out, you better say no. I got this. And then if he don't, then it's like either she won't do it anymore. But that's playing games to me.
Right. Yeah. So I look at it like this. Before this new person in your life came to be, were you going out every night?
That's good.
Right? Were you even going out every weekend to your favorite
restaurant? Were you going out? Just say where you're going out.
Because I'm talking about the ones without laminated menus and ketchup bottles on the table. Were you going to a real restaurant and getting the market price?
I'm offended.
Right. Whatever.
I'm offended. I still go to those places.
Right? If you weren't living like that prior to this person, then to expect someone to fund your desire to go out every night is ludicrous.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy going out, great. At a certain point in the relationship, before you get to I do and all that kind of stuff, before you get to putting a ring on it, I think it's important to have that conversation. How often Gary and I, you can look at us and tell, we love to eat. That was one of the most important things that we talked about. How are we going to afford to graze across Southern California?
Yes.
How do we do this? Right? Because that was important to us. But to put that all on one person indefinitely.
Right. I agree. I agree.
I'd rather him not pay if he's going to front like he has it than every other time he don't got it. Then do we continue to date him?
But that's the thing. I mean, he should be able to afford some meals now. Come on.
Right.
At our age, and this is also age appropriate too. So if you're in high school, college, that's a little bit different than if you 30s and 40s. Like, dude, if you're 50s and you ain't
right. Like, because when you're expecting someone to get your hair done, get your nails done. Did you have hair and nails before you met him? What were you doing?
Yeah.
You had a budget for your hair and your nails.
Yeah, you had the other dude do it.
Now, is that now? This is really good. We're talking about this because I had this conversation with a friend, and so, and in my defense, I hadn't dated in so long, so I know some things have changed. So I can only go back to when I was dating. Sure. But the thing she brought up is like, well, that's just what you do. Like the guy would, which is the truth. He would come and help you offer to help you pay your bills, get your hair and nails done when he has it. But that was just a part of him looking out for you. Like if you got some stuff at the house you need moved, if you got some plumbing work, if you can't do it, he would. I don't know if it's how old we're going way back to the 50s.
Yes, that's old school.
That's the last time I dated what was going
nowadays.
So brothers chime in. But that's what we were talking about. That yeah.
It's sad. I mean, but and I just say this. I mean, unfortunately, now it's like women have to ask. It's not like guys offer, like, hey, can you help me move? I mean, you got to ask a lot, Not saying they won't do it, but for them to just offer like it's in them to automatically do certain things, this generation, unfortunately, we got to fault the ones that came before this generation because you had to teach them.
Yeah.
And if you weren't teaching them or making them do it around the house, they're not going to do it when...
And nowadays, let's understand this, because nowadays the guys are really intimidated in approaching certain women.
I just was gonna say that some women have people got they got their head bitten off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Even opening the door for them. I don't know. That's Jose or somebody tried to help the lady with her I don't know who told me this. He was, when you're putting your stuff on the benches over the and so he saw he was trying to don't touch my bag.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys now just don't. And so I do get the both sides of that.
But like you said, I think it warrants a conversation. Like you said, like, you mind me doing these things for you? Oh no, sure. No, I got them. Or I guess situation by situation.
I started with that Me Too movement. I'm gonna leave that
there. It was before the Me Too movement.
Yeah,
it was.
Maybe it was.
It was before that.
That made it worse, but yeah.
And women's lib is where it really started, unfortunately. I hate to even say that because I'm like, okay, I'm women's
lib. Like in the 90s.
Just got it, but when we started burning our bras, that was in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Burning our bras and throwing our bloomers up in the air.
Right, but also keep in mind though, there was a time where around the age 14 and 15, you probably weren't even going to school anymore because you were hooked up with the boy at the farm down the road. Like y'all grew up in the same community, went to the same church. Yeah. You had your first kid at 16, 17, 18, right? You left your parents' home and you moved in with your husband. Yes. There was no time for you to figure out who you were on your own. There was no such thing. You weren't paying rent, mortgage, car notes, putting yourself through school, rising in your career. You weren't doing any of those kinds of things, right?
Right.
Because we do that now and we don't get married till 30, 40, sometimes 50, right? You are established, and with that is a certain amount of independence by default. Right? So then taking this independent woman who's independent by default and trying to be in a relationship where you have to then, I don't want to say take a step back, but you have to reconfigure the infrastructure of your life to make room for someone to come in and help you put your bag in the overhead bin and all those things that you've been doing for yourself. It's a lot.
Yeah. It is, and that whole independence, the whole independence aspect came into play. Claire and I went through that. It's like, she wouldn't give me room to help or to be me
initially.
Like, okay, well, and I was trying to figure out. I was like, I don't know where I fit in here because you're doing everything. So I'm like, and if I see you doing it, it's going to irritate me because you're not allowing me to be when I'm naturally. I love to serve. But
I got over it eventually, right?
I don't know.
But no, it goes back to even this topic because my heart just goes out, particularly to our melanated brothers and sisters. We're getting married at a later age,
right?
And that's why I said this topic is so great because it talks about great expectations. And is that why our expectations are so great? because we're waiting so much longer.
Yes,
and it's granted, like you said, by 40 and 50, yeah, you should have more. But is it doing us a disservice, more good or harm?
Well, and on that note, there are more men and women that are dying by themselves because they won't come together because they're stuck in their ways. Number one,
that's what I was gonna say.
They don't want to lose what they got.
The
status,
That's
whatever
men and
money, whatever that looks like.
House.
So yeah, all of it. And unfortunately, this started pretty much when you see a lot of men pretty much became independent, and everybody, unfortunately, had to have a high body count. And by the time you hit 40, they don't tell them what you got, and it won't matter. But people are afraid to take that step to into marriage, even if they decide to get married.
Yeah.
So
but then, like you said, does that harming them because their expectations are so great that they feel like they can't find anybody? Because I've seen so many 40 and 50-year-old single people, and I'm like, I don't get it. But is it because your expectations are so, and not to say don't have values, you don't have standards.
Absolutely.
Right. You're right.
I'm telling you, for the men,
are they realistic expectations?
Right. Absolutely. Because for the men, and we'll jump to the next one. For the men, I had a number of buddies like this, and they single. They don't understand why.
Good looking people.
I do.
Good looking people.
That's why I said I can raise my hand to that with that list, and having really unrealistic expectations, not really understanding that Pastor Hosea. It's funny. Rick said, "I am not her pastor." You always make a point to let them know you're not my pastor. But Pastor Hosea really has educated me because I'm not knowing that my thinking is so different. But why I've been single for so long, because he would always say it's a reason. If you want to be married, if you want to be with someone,
people in this world,
there's a reason. And I think with me being tell my girlfriends to say I'm the guinea pig. But when I changed my thinking to more realistically seeing the world as it is and not as I am, and accepting that, whether it's right or wrong, right? And some things you can deal with, some things you can't deal with. But just and you guys know that when you were telling me about when I will meet somebody, like my thing is he's lying, but in their mind, the guy may not be lying. It's just how he may have lived his life for so long. And so he don't know that I'm no different. So that for me is where the change, it was unrealistic. I didn't know that though. It's because the world is operating a certain way. Just because I'm operating this way doesn't mean that this guy is someone I would be with, but I had to learn really to see the world as it is where a lot of us are just broken. We're broken and we just don't know any better. We're so all these hang-ups and issues and
I think a lot of people don't know what lane they're in.
Right.
They're
crazy. You say
it's like you want Michelle Obama. You're not Barack, sir. You want Aisha Curry. Look, you want Aisha Curry. You can't even dribble a basketball, bruh.
Right.
You can't even. What?
Listen to me.
Let's talk about unrealistic expectations. Who do you think you can pull, sir?
Janine.
Come on, Janine.
There have been men, and Colette can testify to this. I know brothers, and some of them just pretty much have this mind about themselves that they're the it. That they the ooh and the ah, and I'm like, bruh, and I have to tell them, I say,
you're not.
You know your breath stinks, right? Oh man, I'm like, bruh.
Do they really believe that, or is it just they just talk?
No, they really. I'm not joking. They believe
it, and then look, this is what happens. They could look like Forrest Whitaker, talented man.
That's ugly.
He's never had both eyes on the same thing at one time.
That you're saying it.
Forrest Whitaker, with that fame and money, could have anybody he wants because women will flock to it.
Yeah.
Now, another sister who may be just as talented in the same thing, she'll never get married. Her money doesn't matter.
Nope.
Her money doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
She will be brilliant and rich and alone.
Yeah. Yeah, but like you said, some of these are even good looking people. And I'm like, and like you said, I think because they've been by themselves so long, their standard or their expectation is so great. So that also puts up a wall. It's not even like, you know, if they were maybe younger,
that's good.
They might have done it sooner, but like you said, now they've accumulated, and now, and two, because you're by yourself, because when you're married, that puts a mirror in front of you, and that person will check you and bring you down to reality. So I think when you're by yourself, you do think you are that great. You back, you know, you all that in the back. You really think that because
you are really telling a lot of my business.
It's yourself.
That's good.
You know, you've been encouraging yourself.
Yeah.
All day, every day. But when you got somebody standing there like, no, bro, you need to work on some stuff.
That's true.
I'm offended.
And then even with children, because when you're getting up in age, like one of the things I was like, if you got kids, I wouldn't date. But then I had to realize, okay, you're getting older now, so of course they're gonna have kids. You move from the he don't have none to now you got grandkids.
And look, if he doesn't have any, you know, people are really looking at him sideways.
You ain't
been married and no kids,
girl. Come on now. That's why I didn't people
with you.
We don't have kids.
Did you just get out?
Yeah. And it's if I have kids, not have children by choice, how many people think that is so strange? I can't tell you how many people have asked me, like, really, why? Like, not, I can't be just like, but for real, like, and I'm like, it makes me feel
people just don't want to do it out of wedlock either, Sandra. I mean, you know, some people
they knew I've been married before, and they would add it made a little out of curiosity. Even my niece, it's like, well, why didn't you? Because naturally you should have kids. And even my own father, it was like, how do you have no kids? Like, okay, but I felt like something was wrong with me. When I would be asked that question, because it was so odd for someone to ask me that question. And even now, as I'm older, I've had people ask me, like, for real, like, why?
And how long were you married again, Sandra?
2 years.
Okay, see, that's kind of early on. You know, you know, you're trying to enjoy and get to know the person the first 2 years. So, I mean, I get why you didn't have it.
Number 5.
Okay,
all right. You expect your partner to spend all their free time with you. Oh, that's a good one. Women, are we living that way, or is that a woman thing?
No, after 20-something, and probably even before that, you need your friends and he needs his. Now, as long as you ain't out there doing nothing stupid, we could, but you can have your guy time. You go bowling, you know, go have some pizza and, you know, doing some productive stuff. whatever it is y'all do, go to the barber shop. I don't know,
right? I see.
But as long as it's productive, you can have
time apart is needed.
Yes.
Time apart is healthy. And if you are with someone that you have to be tied up to every day, then that something is not right. When Gary leaves, I of course pray for him, right? Because it's treacherous out there for Black men, especially. But I'm not ever thinking about where he is, what he's doing. If he said he was going to Ralph's, is he really at Ralph's? And all.
Come on now, Jeannie.
That's a full-time job.
Some couples have trackers, and I get it. When you're newly married, you are a little more attached. You do want to spend more, you know, time together, especially those first early years. I mean, I know some people have trackers. I don't know how y'all feel about that. But
wait a minute, what's your tracker for women? Explain
on their spouses' phones. Well, I don't.
Wait a minute. So that means they don't trust
them? Right, Sheree.
I don't know what it means. I don't know. Maybe it's for safety reasons. I don't know. But that's this new millennial thing. That's how some of them, they do that. What is that? 360, one of them things. And I mean, for safety reasons, I guess it could be good. But I don't know if I want you to know that I want Krispy Kreme 3 times this week.
I have turned him over to the Lord.
Because I will hear it.
He is.
I agree. We don't do that, but
with Jesus, and they got to work out whatever they're going to work out. But you know, we love to surprise each other with things. And so the tracker stuff wouldn't work for us because we're always
that's what I'm saying. That would blow everything.
How we can go here and bring something in and sneak something in and surprise them. And you know what? I like to miss Gary.
Right.
Yeah.
I like to miss him.
Yes.
I like to miss him. And we're not hugged up in the house all the time. We'll watch something together.
Yeah, every now and then. Yeah.
Together, but I'm in one room working. He's in another room working. I'm in one room watching TV. He's in another room playing video games. We visit on the breaks.
Right.
Make sure the other one is still breathing. How you doing? You good? Hey, you hungry yet?
Hey.
Yeah. I think that's what got us through the pandemic. Is he was upstairs, I was downstairs. I'm like, man, if we had like a 1-bedroom house, shack, I don't know.
Out of you, get away from me.
Thank God we had enough room to put some space in between.
It's time for number 6.
With each other was
all right, we got 8 minutes. Come on, what'd
you say, Rick?
Come on, was ready for number 6. You expect your partner to apologize first. Oh, that's a good one. So late. Okay, come on, y'all. Who apologizes first? Between Cole and Rick. Who apologizes?
He says, "I don't say I'm sorry," and he has to understand that sometimes I feel like he has to.
No, I'm gonna give it to you. She has a black. He has a black way of saying I'm sorry.
I'll say my bad. He wants to hear I'm sorry. I think to me those words are reserved for major things, really big things. But he I think he just likes to hear the words.
No,
Rick?
That's not what it is. Colette has a black way of saying I'm sorry. You come in the room.
Not bad.
You know what I'm talking about.
Is that I'm sorry? My bad.
No, that ain't my bad. She'll come in. She'll open the door. She'll open up the door. You hungry? Yeah.
Pastor just talked about that.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
Well, you were right.
I ordered something for you.
You were right.
I ordered something for you on Amazon. It should be here tomorrow. Bye. Good dude. That's how it works.
You know what's crazy? I did not know. Y'all said it's the black boy. I never understood that. Bishop Ullman.
I didn't understand it until I got married. I'm like,
sorry. I'm like Rick, I guess, and you. And I'm like, you ain't saying I'm sorry, so I'm thinking we still beefing.
Right, yes, sir.
That's right. If I still feed you, that means I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
Wow. Okay, that's good. So Janine, what about you and Gary? Does that
just turned 52?
I think Gary says I'm sorry more.
Because they do more, Janine. That's because they do more.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get better at it. What I am proud about is that our recovery time is shorter. If we had a falling out, then I knew it.
You don't have no falling out with Gary.
Please. It was at least 24 hours, right? Before we could be normal again. Now we can, like, something happens, we can squash it in a relatively short amount of time. So
Gary said this.
Whoever apologized first. Okay. I agree, Gary. But sometimes
I agree.
Like to admit that they're the problem starter.
Yeah. Are you a problem starter, Pastor Rick?
No, this is what it is. No.
Yes.
The first couple of years of our marriage, my middle name was I'm sorry. My middle name was I'm sorry.
I guess.
And then I started seeing, and ladies, y'all do this and y'all won't admit it. I started seeing slightly manipulation. I said, okay, that's how y'all work.
No, that's how you were thinking.
I know it was manipulation. I know how y'all work. Crocodile tears. I'm like,
he thinks I'm crying to just get my way, but I'm like, I'm sensitive. Trust me, I cry. I cried at Lion King. Okay, so I cry easily. So what he thinks I was just on. I'm like, no, I'm really sensitive, and it's real easy for me.
Maybe so. Maybe.
Anyhow.
Maybe. But I agree with you.
Yes, Ms. Colette. I cry easily, but only with Gary.
Okay.
The rest of the world, I'm like.
Oh, see, it doesn't even matter. I'll sit up here and watch the news, and Rick's like, "Why are you crying? Because something happened to somebody on the news." I know it's bad. I know.
All right, number 7. We got one more time.
We got 5 minutes, guys. Okay, number 7. You expect them to have no friends of the gender they are attracted to. So, of course, this is for our same-sex people. Well, wait a minute. That can't be for the same-sex people. Because they're going to actually have friends. If you're attracted to men, you're going to have other...
Whoever.
Never mind.
It'll be both our friends if it is, but yeah.
So let's talk about this. So Janine, you and Gary, so you guys, do you think it's important that you know all of Gary's female friends and that he knows all of your men friends?
Absolutely.
Okay, Rick and Cole.
Absolutely. I have a super quick story.
Okay,
when
go ahead.
we first got married, there was a young guy who was kind of like my mentee, and we were tight. Super cool, had known each other for years. Again, it's early on in the marriage, and I used to work with him at an annual event in January. And it's a very hard grind. It was like a week of just working around the clock. And when we got back from the event that year, I had a dream and he was in it, and we were still all grinding trying to work this event. Okay, so I told him about the dream. We laughed, ha ha he he. I look on Facebook and he mentioned something about you were dreaming about me last night or something.
Oh boy.
Okay.
And I said, oh, check please. So I didn't even tell Gary first. I went to him. I said, I got a husband now.
Yeah.
And my husband has family and friends.
Oh, yeah.
They don't need to go on social media and see anything about me dreaming about party. That has to come down.
Right.
Yes.
And I hope that you understand. And if our friendship is what I think it is, it will survive. If not,
see ya.
Then I went to Gary and told him, but he knew this person, right? So, and it didn't even faze Gary. The whole point of that is we have to protect our relationships.
Absolutely.
We have to establish boundaries with friends, male and female.
Have to.
Right? You just, or I think you're in a danger zone. I want to know everybody that Gary's hanging out with. I'm not overprotective. I'm not trying to be in his business, but I know everybody out there don't love him the way I do.
Yes.
Right? And my job as his helpmeet is to, if I'm helping him sniff people out, if somebody don't smell right.
Right.
I agree.
My job is
or
like,
female.
hey, you know, Jerome, though.
Yeah.
You might want to
reconsider that relationship.
I've done that.
I'm pretty sure I saw his picture at the post office.
Post office. Girl. Yeah, no, I've done that with Rick. It was a male friend, and I was like, I'm getting a vibe. I don't know what kind of vibe it is. I just watched that, and sure enough, the friendship eventually went left. But I was like, I don't know.
That's good. That's good. Well, guys, we ran out of time.
We had 10 questions.
We can bring it back next week.
Yeah, y'all can finish
back some more of these unrealistic expectations. Cole, we have loved you with us.
Thank you. I've enjoyed being here.
And we're going to still, guys, again, like, subscribe, and share. Please fill out our query form. Or you can just hit me up at ZandraSWilson@yahoo.com and let us know how we can help you. Again, we could bring you on if you want to be in witness protection mode, or if you're bold and you want to just come on and tell what's going on, show your face and your name. We can do that too. We want to just bring us your stories, and then we can talk about it. And even if you want to say it's somebody else's story, we understand. We'll go ahead and talk about that too. So just go ahead and let us know how we can help you. But until next time, Pastor Jose should be back off of his honeymoon. And Cole, you've been amazing for these past 3 weeks, girl.
Thank you.
I promise you'll come back and visit.
Of course. Anytime. I think it's our anniversary next Thursday. Well, you guys do the show on Tuesday. So it's next Thursday.
Shout it out. All right, guys. Until next week. See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.